What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action. Spawning in the red color, playing as Ra. His name is Joe. His opponent in the blue color, playing as Kronos. His name is Mariano. Mariano the Wise. Mariano the Great. Mariano the playing Kronos on this map, even though... even though. We'll see what Mariano can come up with. I completely understand the reasoning why top players play Kronos on this map. I just disagree with the logic, and I disagree with the conclusion. The logic is Kronos doesn't take any thought process to find a strategy here. It's really, really simple to come up with a strategy with Kronos. You send your Oracle forward, you deconstruct the dock, you find early pressure and win water on both sides, trying to win the water on both sides, and then you find a win like that. That's the logic. The thing is, if you have that thought process, then you have to go, well, why would I pick someone else? Because then I have to figure out how to beat that. And then once I figure out how to beat that, I then have to also think about how do I beat that and beat everything else that's possibly coming for myself. So that's the thought process behind the Kronos. And I think that it's a weak thought process. And if this map became a standard in the map pool and people actually played on it, Kronos would go from a popular pick on this map to a rare pick on this map, because everyone would get used to playing their main god on this map and realize that picking an off civilization like Kronos is not in their best interest in a tournament. Just like when we see, say, on Mediterranean, we don't see a whole lot of Kronos picked there. It is a pick that sometimes people decide, but generally you see like the Greeks being played there. Or if you look at Anatolia, you see Isis or Norse or Greek being picked there. You very rarely see Kronos getting picked. Even you see Uranos picked there over Kronos sometimes. Or Midgard as well for another thing. I mean, Midgard is less of a Kronos map, but you get the picture. As we still see Mariano searching around. He hasn't actually found that dock just yet. As the house is coming up here, trying to defend this dock as best as he possibly can. An interesting idea here would be to wall this in, or at least to wall this in with an actual wall as another idea against the Atlanteans early to prevent the early game pressure of like a Promethean and everything else. As we see Mariano here, is he going for... He is going for a very fast advance time. He's taking everyone off of wood, finishing up the dock over here. He's also got a goat in position to eat that, and it's going to be an incredibly fast advance here for Mariano. Now, the question is going to be, will Joe know what to do in this position? And you want to know what the answer to this is? When you see your Kronos player advance this fast, obviously try and get a dock up over here as best as you can. But just send your Pharaoh over here, send a villager forward, build your docks up with the Pharaoh on this position, get all your fishing ships out. Don't even bother defending this. Just say it's yours, no worries. And then put all the fishing ships on the bottom, and you just play a game from either an even position or an advantageous position. These sorts of rushes on this map, in my opinion, where you don't set up a dock down the bottom, are a big mistake. And the thing is that Joe's playing Ra here, and he does have shifting sands, so he should be able to stop this so long as he advances fast enough. One thing you can actually do if you really want to be tricky with it is you can shifting sands villagers forward and shank down the dock on this position as an idea as well. As you do see Mariano coming through, he will be putting the dock down on the bottom side of the map, and I imagine it's going to get up before any potential to prevent this, but nonetheless, Joe should still follow through with that strategy of getting set up on this bottom side of the map. As you do see all the docks getting thrown down here. Joe going to be garrisoning his fishing ships. He's advancing very, very late here. This is not the sort of build that I would expect to see on... it's not the sort of build I expect to see on Calm Shores. The difference between Calm Shores and Anatolia is that 4 minutes and 45 seconds is the build. That's the time you want. As we do see the docks coming up over here, trying to finish this one up. We do see the villager now getting taken down. Deconstruction coming through here. The fishing ship should be able to finish this dock up if they so choose. But the units are already going to be targeting that one down. Nice play there from Mariano to make that happen. As Joey's in a scramble now, as his fishing ship's getting pushed back. The Bareem coming through here to take this out. As we're still seeing this dock coming up on this position over here as well, as the fishing ship's coming through to attempt to finish this one off, but it looks like it's going to be too little, too late. Even if it finishes at this point, there's no HP remaining. It does get up, but it's going to get taken down immediately as the fishing ship coming in onto this location over here as well. Right now, Mariano can start thinking about starting to pump out the Bareem on the bottom side of the map as well and start making things very, very difficult for Joe. Now, the big question is, will Joe go for a shifting sands here to try and take out this dock? It's the big question. It's got 1600 HP. If you bring all your villagers to take it out, you can take this water for free, potentially also take out a citizen as well. You do need to send the Wadjet over there to deal with that, as we see the second dock coming up now for Mariano, as he can now start putting fishing ships out on this location as well, as the Bareems will go down, and Joe just says, all right, that's yours for now. The cabinet coming through, the citizen retreating back. No shifting sands onto that. I think that's a mistake. One of the weaknesses of picking Ra over picking Set here is that Set also gets vision, plus gets access to some animals of Set to kind of chase things in, as the Wadjet coming through to help out on this fight as well. Apparently it's missing. I mean, it has a track rating of 5 with an accuracy of 100%. Which means if the Bareem move faster than 5, it will still miss. I think, as the villager here is still trying to get this dock up on the front. Fishing ship all getting taken down. And will we see Mariano finishing up this fish on the top side there to get 12 spots on that location or not, is the big question. Meanwhile, in the main base here for Mariano, who's still just pumping the Bareems out as Joe throws down another dock on this location here. So we're going to be losing these houses as well on his on the top location there. But he's got plenty of time to rebuild those, so it's not the biggest of problems here. In fact, it might be... Well, I guess it's not worth it to delete them. Just keep rebuilding them as they get taken out. No problems. As the Bareem still pushing through here. And Mariano at this point, he's got a couple of options here. Option number 1 would be to go for full army at this point, utilizing the extra fish that he's got, the economy that he's got there. He doesn't need to win this water. It's not important here to win this, but you can just sit back and stop Bareem production here and do that. So he can go for the land push here and maybe a heroic age with the extra economy he's got. Option number 2 would be to grab town centers, second town center, third town center potentially, or just second town center and do the same thing with a land push. The gold mine, there is a nice back gold mine here for Joe though, so I don't really like the land push idea. So definitely town centers at this point looking like they're going to be the most useful option in this game. We do need to see the dock getting thrown up over here as well. For Mariano and finishing up the fish. This is something I'm always surprised to see. So I started playing Age of Mythology on vanilla, right? And the thing that you learn playing vanilla is that because you don't have a second town center to potentially grab, the extra fish you can grab from building an extra dock on your opponent's side of the map and making sure you fish out the entire side is vitally important. And it seems to me that Titans players don't value this as much because of how good second town centers in the classical age can be. But in this position here, Mariano not grabbing the second town center, he should have had these 12 fish grabbed maybe like 2 minutes ago, in all honesty, but he hasn't gone for it. Now he's going for it with the dock coming up as well as the villager coming forward to start putting some military buildings on the forward position here as well. Is a great idea, as it looks now like Joe has managed to clean up all the Bareems here as Mariano has stopped production here. There's tons of cabinets here though for Joe, as Joe's gold mines, we've got 1,000 gold left in it. The Mermillo's starting to come out, and Joe will need right now to start thinking about either a heroic age or many, many barracks and trying to somehow fight through the Atlantean pressure that's coming for him. Shadoof coming through, Persine coming through. The cabinet's going to take out these docks. We do see some fishing ships coming out to finish up over here. Putting a dock down on this location wouldn't go astray either. As one barracks, that's a lot of villagers there on a barracks there for Joe to try and get that up as fast as he can, as the axemen is starting to come out as well. It's actually an interesting idea here that I saw from Chrono JJ. If you put a dock here, you can actually time... No, it's on the wrong side of the map. You'd have to put the dock... No, they're all facing the wrong way. You can't time shift from one side of the water over to the other side, can you? Someone tell me in the chat. I don't know. I don't think you can, because it would need to be facing exactly the same way, and it's not. It's facing the opposite way. Unless you can flip it somehow. Am I? I don't know. I don't know what anyone's saying. Town center looks like it's going to be coming up here for Joe. Should be enough to secure this this gold mine over here. As we do see Mariano also getting himself his own town center on the back there. As the Pharaoh retreats back, more units starting to pressure in here. Axeman slingers coming through as well for Joe. As Mariano, third town center now coming up. He's got all his fishing ships out. Joe's got a ton of cabinets on this position he needs to get sorted out as well. He's got lots of gold in the bank here to utilize. As he doesn't need to delete them just yet, but once he gets to that population, he will be needing to. As the wall's coming up here for Joe to defend this position, I like that play. No armory, there is an armory up, excuse me. As Joe will have access to rain here. He's got himself Shadoof. He's got himself the potential to get husbandry. And, well, he's got husbandry already. He gets husbandry and plow can come through. He's got the granary set up as well on this location to help himself out. We do indeed see that Joe will find himself some value trying to take the mana out here. As Mariano trying to break through here as best as he can, but Joe's got plenty of units here to defend. And he's got all the priests out as well to help out as the Terma trying to push through, cause some problems here as well. As we do see Joe going, all right, I see the pressure coming. I got two town centers, no problems here. Let me get the tower up. I wouldn't mind seeing him attempt to sneak this town center up as well as the farm's coming through, but it looks like he's going to be just going for a heroic age here after all is said and done. As in classic Joe fashion, the double walls coming up here. There's the watchtower coming down as well. But Mariano, 115 of 130 population coming up to the third town center here as well. As Mariano, he's going to be stuck in this classical age for quite some time. There is a lot of food here in the berry bushes over there and there. He's also got a little bit of, well, he's got nothing left there. He's also got all the goats there as well in his main base. So plenty of food on this map. The rain is about to come down. We do see that Joe's also dropping more granaries here. Did he get himself these upgrades? In classic Joe fashion, no plow, no husbandry, rain. He's going to get a lot of food from it. Don't get me wrong, but this is so crazy. As we see the army now going in after this location, we are now starting to see the garrisoning into the town center here as the rain is getting shut down ever so slightly here, but the axemen will be able to defend with the help of that town center with the villagers garrisoned in it, or even dropping them out. They do have Skin of the Rhino here. They can push Mariano back so nicely here. That rainbow is just in the way, and I cannot see the fight to save my life. Imagine playing in this location as it looks like Joe manages to defend this relatively easily here. He's still got plenty of cabinets over here he can delete to give himself some population. The heroic age can start coming through as the Promethean have managed to take down a watchtower over here. This Pharaoh needs to come over here and deal with those Promethean there as well. As the villagers getting taken out. There's now Mariano here. He's still... What Mariano's kind of trying to do, and the reason why he goes for those attacks, is he's like, I know I can't gold starve here. So in order to slow down the Ra player and get a gold starve on the next gold mine, he has to force fights. So he pushes in, he takes a fight, he's trying to kill off units as best as he possibly can to force Joe into training more and more units so that he can't get the upgrades, technologies that he needs to get to that late game, or not even late game, to get to the point where he's going to be able to grab this next gold mine over here. So this is why he goes for those attacks, but Is it worth it or not is the big question, because he did lose a lot of units to make that happen, but he does have the Atlantean economy, and he does have 12 fishing ships, and he is in a decent position on the map as well. The heroic age does come through for Joe. He's going to be able to put that Migdol stronghold down. One of the big advantages here that Mariano is also going to have, and he needs to remember to hold his deconstruction to give that advantage, is that when Joe pushes forward to try and get pressure onto this gold mine, he's going to put a Migdol stronghold down, and the deconstruction on that location is going to be really, really important. So we'll see what god Mariano is going to go. No real surprises there. Going through Hyperion. Hyperion is a very, very popular god, as we do see the cabinets getting taken down. Joe's still refusing to grab these fishing spots. Fish is the fastest resource to gather from for the food in the game, with the exception of hunt, obviously. So once the hunt is gone, you want to be having the fish. We do see Migdol getting deconstructed at this point. I don't know if I mind this as Joe. I like this because this Migdol doesn't really defend anything, and it's going to be able to put it back up immediately. Obviously, you lose the resources to rebuild the building, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I would have preferred to see him just hold it for when Joe tries to push out of his base. As we see a marker coming down, Joe might just decide to go to the Mythic Age here and get a Son of Osiris out, which could be more than enough to push himself out of the base, as we're now starting to see the time shift coming through to put some sort of pressure onto this town center as well. Mariano doesn't really want to grab the town center because he wants to go to the Mythic Age first, as we do see that Chaos getting dropped down, the Patsukos getting taken out there as well, going to get cleaned up fairly easily by the Pharaoh and everything else, as more Patsukos coming through here for Joe to hold on in this location. But the food is in, the gold is about in. Same too for Joe. It's coming in very, very hot here as the market is up, and Joe going to be able to go to the Mythic Age. Mariano going to be able to go to the Mythic Age as well as he drops that market down. We also see the Terma finding himself the armor of Achilles there. It's going to be a big, big help moving forward if he wants to make destroyers or anything like that. The big question is, how is Mariano going to navigate going up against Osiris? And the answer seems to be he's going to be using Atlas, which I love. I think this is a really, really good idea. Rather than going through Helios here and trying to put pressure on, Atlas is going to be able to clean up that entire army of the Egyptian player, of Joe here. This army here is so weak to Atlas, to the implode. He's going to be able to clean up everything, and then he should, if he can catch the Son of Osiris as well with the army, he's going to be in a fantastic position. As we do see the palace coming up, Mariano still hasn't put the effort into grabbing this location. We are seeing some deleted deleted Terma there as well to replace them with more important units like the Cairo Ballast and everything else. Do we see some more effort into, as the rock here going to get attacked down by the Terma, some more effort into time shifting these watchtowers forward? I like that play. This is unique to Kronos. Time shifting towers means that your tower, it's free, right? The home towers, and they don't do anything normally if you're on the defensive. So you can actually get towers on the front here for a significant reduction in cost. It's cost like half the tower or something, and you can get that on the front as opposed to in your base. You do see the units out in the middle of the map here. Upgrades coming through for Mariano as Joe healing up his Pharaoh, getting that Migdol stronghold up. Joe's going to be wanting to push through this palace here and get that gold mine, but he's almost out of gold. In fact, he is out of gold now. And this is very, very difficult position for Joe to be in. He's got lots of resources in the bank, though, so he can spend those if he wants, or for whenever he wants, as the Pharaoh here has the 125 HP. There's the Atlas coming through, implode coming in as the Son of Osiris, or not Son of Osiris, but the Pharaoh gets dragged into that town center there. This isn't exactly how I was expecting the implode to go, as the Pharaoh will indeed get sucked out of here. Does it survive this? No, the Pharaoh goes down, so that delays the Son of Osiris even longer here in this game. As the Patsukos pops out, the mummy pops out, but everything else goes down, and Joe loses a ton of houses there as well as he goes to 100 of 100 population, allowing Mariano to get this town center here as the villagers are going to start moving forward to grab this position here. He can shank down that palace there, but what is going to be able to be done here for Joe? He needs to get his houses back up. It looks like he's chucking them down on this position here with 3 villages as he's trying to get more siege towers out to defend here. The villagers on this location getting targeted down by the palace here as Joe has to retreat back. He's still got 1,000 gold in the bank. He could put all of his villagers onto wood and be fine, or utilize them on the front to shank through the Kronos army here. But Mariano, 4 town centers, 27 villages, more palace coming up. Fire Siphon coming through to try and take out the palace here as well. He's got the palace over here, able to build himself some destroyers if he so chooses. Going for Contarius, going for Arcus. Joe at this point is making kind of the wrong army composition in Axeman here, as there's really not any there's no infantry being made by Mariano at this point, so he's got to recognize that and stop making those axemen like immediately. Yes, there are destroyers, but there's only 1 here at the moment. As Mariano here at this moment, he's not even spamming units out because he's not at full pop. He's got plenty of resources. He's just slowly building up an ideal army composition here, unit composition here to deal with this. As the palace here does manage to get up. The other thing that Mariano can get, which is super strong when you go through Atlas, is the Titan Shield, which gives a huge amount of defense for your buildings as well. Relatively cheap to boot. I think it costs like, don't want to show me what it is. It costs 350 or 550 resources. You don't count the favor because favor is free for Kronos. As we do see the Son of Osiris coming through here onto this position, as the Ark is going to move forward and start trying to shoot that down from far here. Joe's going to need to figure out how to keep that one safe. So we do have the trade route started on this position here for Joe. He's got 17 camel caravans. He doesn't need another gold mine, but he will need to keep this under safety here, as Mariano can literally just start time shifting towers into this position as well as building them on the front if he so chooses here. As Joe is continuing to spam Axeman at this point, and the siege of Mariano, he's got so many resources in the bag. He can get himself engineers here as well, as another palace going to come down to start putting pressure onto this trade route, taking Joe's gold down to next to nothing here. As the town center slowly getting cleaned up, the Son of Osiris going down as well. And watchtowers are getting time shifted in onto this position. Love to see guard towers coming through here as well for Mariano. As what else can Joe really do? He's only got the Son of Osiris. He's only got 3, looks like 3 military buildings over here. He doesn't have another gold mine. He does have the trade caravans, but they're about to get put to rest. And Joe loses the town center and decides to tap out in that position. This is classic Egyptian versus Atlantean problems that happen. But normally you can overcome this with strong macro and getting set up on the map and doing everything right. But Mariano, he just puts too much pressure on. He gets the food early enough. He puts enough pressure over here. He gets set up on the map here. Technically speaking, I would say that Joe was completely fine here to push out and grab this town center earlier, but he went for the rain, and I don't think he needed to go for that straight away. He could have grabbed this third town center, stayed in the Classical Age a little bit longer, gotten his farms, probably gotten to the Mythic Age at around about the same time nonetheless, and he probably would have been in a really good position here. But alas, Mariano manages to control the map as well as he can. He was using the time shift really, really nicely. To anyone who says that time shift is no good with Kronos, I say you don't know how to use time shift, sir. Time shift is a fantastic resource that Kronos has, and we saw it used on not on full display here, but you can see that the more you use it, the better it's going to become. You just like putting watchtowers into the fight, into important fights without needing to bring villagers forward is huge. Time shifting palaces into important positions as well is huge. And that's it. That's the game. If you guys enjoyed it, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next game.